Hi everyone, welcome to another Should I Fly It? This time I'm going to have a quick look at Dengaroo. It's one of the lists that's been becoming more and more popular recently. It's got quite an interesting, unique playstyle, so something I thought I could take the time to talk about. And this is going to be my take on the list. There's a few different variations. I haven't seen this one flown yet, but I'm going to give it a try and I'll report back on my findings at some point as well. Maybe do some deployments and maybe try and get a bit of game tape for you all to watch. But going into it, it's a typical Dengaroo list in that it has Dengar and Mannaroo in it. It's the core components. And the Dengar follows the same train that most of them do, in that you want lone wolf, countermeasures, overclocked, to try and keep him quite survivable, because he's going to be the linchpin of the list and where the majority of your damage is going to come through. That's aided by Zuckuss and the Punishing One title. And then we've got Glitterstim on for what I'll go on to in a minute. Then the other ship being Mannaroo. So Mannaroo in this incarnation is a little bit different. What I wanted to try and do is give you a reason, because most people, there's two ways to approach it. Is either pile as much fire as you can onto Dengar and try and punch through his overclocked R4 and countermeasures and stuff like that, and hope that you can just take him down quickly enough whilst he's pounding you and getting his return fire from his ability, and the hope that Mannaroo's too far away to be taking part in this exchange. And that can be sort of okay. It depends on how high your damage spikes. Like if you've got a decent number of attack dice, you can push enough damage through onto Dengar to make that strategy viable. And in that case, I wanted Mannaroo to be able to contribute in an offensive manner as well. The other way that people tend to play against this list is to try and get Mannaroo down early, in the hope that Dengar is then too stressed from using overclocked and Zuckuss to be able to function properly in the end game. And in that regard, I wanted to go with PTL and Engine, so that you've got full repositioning on Mannaroo, and then Gonk as well, so that you can bump those health points back up, and obviously R5 P8 just to try and dissuade some of those pot shots that people might want to take. And then you do have a feedback array, which I think can be essential in this kind of matchup, just because Mannaroo is going to really struggle to kill an interceptor on her own. But you'd hope that Dengar would have splashed some damage onto a fell, and then having that feedback array can make it really awkward for positioning, and it's a big help in the list. Then the other thing is I chose to put the plasma torps and extra munitions onto Mannaroo rather than Dengar, purely because it brings those points levels in a little bit, which makes choice a little bit harder. And also because you've got push the limits, you can get the target lock focus in one turn and then contribute a decent attack, whilst Dengar still has a Glitterstim as well, so you can get the same effect as Mannaroo minus passing the target lock and get a decent attack. So it actually buffs the list against lists where you get to take the offensive. For example, if you're playing against 3 jump masters yourself, you can then take the fight to them a lot more efficiently than if they're having to just deal with a 2 attack dice from Mannaroo. So I like this list. It's definitely something I'm going to try on the table. It will be interesting. I think the biggest interplay is going to be knowing when to bring Mannaroo into a fight to support Dengar, and when to try and just solo someone's list with just Dengar. You get lots of options here with the countermeasures and Glitterstim, when to pop those, and you get a fun ship to fly in that you've got a barrel rolling boosting ship as well. That swoop boost barrel roll can do some really crazy stuff. It should be good fun. Feel like it's just as viable as any of the other Dengaroo lists, but it does revolve around your actual skill and practice with it, because it's not immediately powerful like the triple jump masters, for example. It's quite obvious how that's supposed to fly. As more people are getting to fly against it, it's becoming easier to deal with. Hopefully this take on it can mix it up a little bit more again. Let me know what your favourite Dengaroo builds are. I keep just wanting to say Mannaroo. Yeah, let me know what your Dengaroo lists have been like. Any upgrades you think are vital to the list that I'm missing. I feel like Lone Wolf is vital to it. Zuckuss on Dengar is vital. And then I think Mannaroo is where you've got the most play, and I really like this version of Mannaroo. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, and if you give it a try on the table, how it performs for you. Thanks for watching, everybody.